not have actually realized what was going on there, but if I were him, I would scan there, especially since he had a guy there. And it looks like he is going to attack in the top left based on the mini-map of his first-person view. It looked like he chose to go attack over there, and I see his units running over there now, so it looks like he'll probably take that out no problem, since there's definitely not enough units to handle that in the vicinity. And dropship in the meantime going over to his protected natural expansion, which isn't protected from dropping. Ooh, very, very clever of Kwanro to pop out those ultras there. That was a good move instead of trying to reinforce across the map. But those Marines getting in on the natural expansion, I don't know if he's going to do any damage because of the Muta and Ling combo he had there. No, he's not going to do anything. And it looks like Kwanro's trying to pincer him a bit. Ooh, taking out that dropship with a couple Scourgers. That was a nice hit. That's a little costly for Justin. And it looks like he was able to push back that attack on his expansion, so good job, Kwanro. Now he's going to try to hang up those Marines and just take them out in transit, which he did. He got a bunch of. So Kwanro doing a nice job of slowly picking at his forces. I would expect to see some science vessels out pretty soon. There they are. That's the first I've seen of them. And some irradiate's going to be coming shortly for those ultras, which will definitely be a big help. And now there's, I think, 6 or 7 ultras out on the field, so getting irradiated early, which is key, very, very important. I think Justin made a good decision in doing that and trying to weaken him up a bit for when he does get attacked by him. But still, there's 6 ultras there, and a couple mutas and a bunch of lings, and the ultras, well placed irradiated ultras to take out Marines and not damage his own forces. He's going to have to pull back though, because he didn't have quite enough to deal with quite so many Marines. And picking away at that science facility of Justin's in the meantime, as he's just floating it around because he doesn't really want it. Nidus Canal up, so now he can easily ferry troops back and forth to defend that last expansion that he's just put up. And it looks like some positioning going on at this point. Unfortunately, I can't really see upgrades on my screen right now, so I don't actually know if his ultras are. I assume they're probably something like 2-3 or 2-4. They're showing them, and I can't even see what they say, so it looks like maybe 2-2. I don't know. I could be wrong. But either way, he is upgrading. And now dropship going over to that expansion. I don't see any units near his Nidus. They're all actually up in Justin's face, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to reinforce that. If Justin drops there, he's going to definitely lose this expansion, if not all the drones. But it's not going to stop Kwanro from attacking in the meantime with a ton of irradiated Ultralisks. Let's see how that turns out. And it looks like Justin's just focusing on taking out that hatchery, which is a good idea because that's the one thing guaranteed to slow down that economy right there. And taking out all the defenses and all the buildings except for the extractor so far. A couple ultras in now to take out this this force of Marines, and it's going to stop it, but not before he lost all his units there, which is in his buildings, which is a bit of a pain. So now we see Justin loading up another dropship with some Marines, and probably going to go back to the natural expansion and see what he can do over there. And if sorry about that, I keep coughing. If I don't know where I was going with that, so I'm just going to continue the commentary. Anyway, another expansion going out for Kwanro in the I don't actually know where that was positioned, so I'll tell you when I figure that out. And more irradiated Ultralisks going in, and actually losing a couple of these Marines. And now there's it looks like there's a siege tank in the vicinity, and that dropship actually went right back to where he attacked before, which is not the natural expansion, which is probably a good idea. I think that's a good move on Justin's part, anticipating that Kwanro would rebuild that position. He probably did see the egg go back up there and assume that he pulled away, which he did. And that expansion is in fact in the bottom right position of the map. So Kwanro starting to overextend a little bit. He's really got to get a handle on where he wants to expand and what he can defend legitimately, especially against dropships. I mean, the mobility of these Marines and dropships is, you know, is very, very high. So you can't just expand everywhere and assume that you're going to make through whatever you're going to do. And I think Kwanro is going to have to start grouping up some more ultras than he is at a time, because he doesn't have that many, and they're getting every single one is basically getting irradiated, which isn't doing him too much good. And he's actually got to hold back all of his ultras because they're all irradiated now, and losing one there from irradiation and of course marine shots. But I really think he should pump out some more. And oh man, again the dropship showing why mobility is so key. Some Scourges going out to try to take that out, and ooh, no, attack the hatchery, attack, yeah, there you go. Justin gets the hatchery at the last second while getting attacked by an irradiated ultra. Not bad, nice job, Justin. Kwanro in the meantime is going to have to really get some defense set up if he's going to expand, and here we see another expansion going up, yet no defense there. And I think, yes, it's nice to have your guys in the middle, and taking out a science vessel there. That was pretty good. It's nice to have you guys in the middle of the field, losing some more ultralists, and ooh, doing a nice job with those Scourges, taking out some science vessels. But he's really got to protect his expansions at the same time, and that's another spotted expansion that he's gonna lose. And Justin is in a pretty good position at this point because Kwanro is basically only mining out of 3 bases, about to lose his 4th expansion again for the 4th time now, or 5th time, or whatever he's at. So Kwanro not learning his lesson. Hopefully he does soon. I mean, at that point, to that same point, he doesn't even have anything to defend with. So I suppose Justin's really just outplaying him at the moment. And now he's got a ton of science vessels, and he's going to do a pretty good job at ooh, Overlord there, spotting the dropship. So that's probably not going to be successful. And 1, 2, taking out 1 dropship, not bad. And just a couple Marines and a tank, which will be enough to do some damage, at least to the drones, if he decides to attack them. And now finally mounting some defense against these drops, but not before losing a bunch of drones. I'm counting 5 or 6 drones he just lost there. Not the biggest of deals. Losing 1 science vessel out of 6, which wasn't too bad actually because of the amount of Scourges that could have done a lot more damage. So some nice micro by Justin. Actually doing a pretty good job in 1 versus 1. I gotta say, I haven't mentioned that since. Those Lings actually doing a pretty good job at taking out those Marines. I didn't think they would do quite so well, but he won out with Lings versus Marines. That must mean that his cracklings are probably 3-3 at this point. And Justin just pushing in straight up on the main at this point, and looks like he's gonna get flanked by an Ultra and some Lings. And yeah, I think Kwanro's not gonna have any problem defending that and taking out everything, and going to try to take out some science vessels as well. I don't think he's going to manage that. Another dropship. Scourges out, taking the dropship out, only taking a couple Marines, dropping a couple Marines who weren't able to really do any damage. And now Justin is mined out in 2 of his bases, and he really needs to get a expansion going. I don't think he has any ready to go at the moment, and he's got to work on that. He's behind in the macro game. He's been doing a good job at contain, but I don't think he's been paying enough attention himself. And now Kwanro going back to his expansion that he had. I guess that's his 3rd natural expansion outside of his main, and doing what he's got to do, keeping up the macro game, even though he keeps losing hatcheries. And now Justin just going to push in with a bunch of Marines and tanks to take out whatever expansions he can, specifically the top left one, and a lot of Scourges out. So getting 1 hit off on that entire grouping, so not too effective. Taking out a science vessel there though, so all right, doing a little bit of damage. And Kwanro going to try to fight this off. I think he could have actually done better with the Scourges there if he had sent his Lings and Ultras in at a more opportune time. Another Night is Canal at his other expansion, so he's going to be able to protect that pretty easily. Still plenty of minerals in his main natural expansion, protected expansion. Justin getting down that other expansion finally, so probably going to send some SCVs over there any second. And he's going to just run out and irradiate at will, which is exactly what he should be doing when he's able to. And these Ultras are going to get picked apart pretty quickly, I'd say, yeah, especially the irradiated ones. But not before, nope, yeah, taking out a science vessel. Alright, there you go. Taking out 2 science vessels, pretty nice conversion there. taking out some Marines as well. But I think Justin came out on top on that one. So we'll see if Kwanro can make better use of these ultras. I really think he's got to get more out at a time rather than 4 to 6 that he has been having. I think he'd be a lot more efficient at taking out Justin's bases this way, or at least his main force that's containing him. A bunch more Scourges out. He is doing a very good job at limiting the amount of science vessels, preventing that science vessel critical mass that people speak of. So he's got that going for him. Finally making use of that expansion. I'm surprised he wasn't running, or maybe that was a new one that I didn't notice. No, it doesn't seem that way. Justin going to try to take out that hatchery. Not going to be successful with those ultras there that have free reign on Marines without medics. But it looks like he is at the same time going to attack his other expansion. So nice job on Justin's part. A little bit of a two-pronged attack that was a nice bit of a delay tactic. And oof, losing another science vessel there. He could have lost 2.